Hi, greetings. This is Sieg, and I'm here again with my leadership series, and this is a focus on specific leadership qualities. So we're going to dive into leadership quality number 3, but I just want to share with you, this is from the Renegade blog, so we're 3 out in our series. So if you missed the other 2, you can scoot back and review those as well. Well, today's leadership quality is going to be about I'm going to say not only the willingness, but the desire to allow yourself to be put to the test so that you can be found, so that you can find out what you're made of. So again, it's that desire or the willingness to be able to put yourself to the test so that you can find out what you're made of. So the converse would be to shrink back from a new challenge, a test. Converse to, so what do you got for me? And attacking that somewhat, aggressively or with chutzpah. And this is a mindset. So they're patterns. So some of you may be accustomed to, when you're presented a challenge or a task, you draw back, you go into super analytical mindset, things that don't allow you to move forward and step into that test. So I believe it's a patterned issue. It's on the order of being able to flex your muscles. And this muscle would be, yeah, I'm up for the challenge, I'm up for the test, and you flex your muscles. Well, those muscles are strengthened so that it kind of scales this desire and intensity to be tested and challenged yet once again. So we see that in the physical realm with sports. You have to start with your first pull-up, for example, and you're like, okay, yeah, I did 1. Now I want to be able to do 2, that type of a thing. So that's in the physical world. Here, my leadership series is focused towards entrepreneurs and business owners. We have to strengthen the leadership skills, and this is irrespective of whatever business you happen to be in. Whether you're an attorney, a doctor, a chiropractor, a realtor, a network marketer, a solopreneur, it really doesn't matter. Leadership is core and center to any business. They rise or they fall based on the leadership demonstrated within that business, even if it's just you at this time and you're not guiding and leading an entire team at this time. It begins with you. And this quality of being willing to test to see what you're made of is huge. Because sometimes that fear of, gosh, can I do it or not, should serve to go, yeah, well, you know what? I'm going to do it anyways because I got to find out what I'm made of. That's the kind of attitude and determination you should have when being presented with a potential test or challenge. They don't have to be externally imposed, by the way. They can be internally. That something shows up and you're like, oh, and you're able to identify, okay, that's interesting. Here's a test to see if I can become a better presenter. I can close down more sales. Whatever yours I can take a higher caseload, whatever it happens to be. And by doing that, you strengthen your capabilities and it makes you that much more prepared for the next test. So I want to give you a practical example of this. I guess this is kind of all in the concept of being willing to step into your discomfort zone rather than, well, I'm comfortable here, which is our biological tendency known as homeostasis. I'm comfortable here. Thank you very much. We can't afford to do that as entrepreneurs. You're already sliding backwards when you adapt that homeostatic state within businesses. This is just, I'm good. I'm good. You're going to get booted back up the river because you didn't stay aggressive and moving forward, because being in business is a competitive space. You don't rest on your laurels ever. The laurels from 3 years ago are passé for today. Okay? So this is too why you have to keep sharpening this sword of being willing to test yourself. So a couple of examples of that. So this ability to go into discomfort. So this is again mindset, and this won't relate exactly to business, but for me personally, This happened, what is it coming up on? Almost 5 years ago. Yeah, almost 5 years ago. I'll say it for what it is. I grew up in Minnesota, and I really don't like the cold weather. And that's never going to change, no matter what. No self-talk is going to turn that one around. I hate the cold. So I told my husband, I said, I want to get out of here. I want to move south. And that was a big deal. Now, some of you maybe grew up, you had a military family, and you moved 17 times while you were growing up, and it's like, that's no big deal. For me, it is a big deal, because my entire family is here. My husband's family is all here, and Minnesota has the highest, how do I have the stat? Return rate, meaning they just stay here. They don't leave. Other states, the population, as they track them, they tend to leave. Not so in Minnesota. So, we got that homeostatic thing going on. We like it here. Maybe we're more familial here. I'm not sure. But anyways, I said, here's another reason why I want to do this, is I want to test myself to see if I can do this. Now, that's a big thing. I mean, it's costly to move, right? And I'm leaving my entire family. Nobody had left Minnesota at that time. My siblings, my parents, everybody is here. But I told my husband, I said, I gotta find out if I can handle this. I'm up for this challenge. So we did that. We moved. And we just moved back this past year. My husband's mother was extremely ill, and we needed to do what we felt was the right and responsible thing to do. So we moved back. Though, here's the deal. As a result of that move, and it was a lot of work, we are extremely open-minded to moving again. It's like, yeah, did that once. And it's actually a conversation right now going on as the consideration to possibly move elsewhere. We actually prefer to be in a more business-friendly state. That's something we're looking for. But all to say this, that was a difficult thing for me to consider, leaving all my friends and family and moving south. But we did it. And I found out what I was made of. I'm going to give you one more example of this. This is the story of Lou Holtz. I believe he was the Notre Dame football coach, for many years. And the story is, in terms of a test, this was more of him when someone says you can't do something. So let's say you have a test put before you and someone says, really, you're going to do this? Come on. And that is allowing somebody else to put a valuation upon you, a valuation of your capabilities and of your potential. They size you up and they say, nah, it's not happening with you. I know what you're made of, and it's not even going to happen. Okay? And a lot of people allow their self-identity, their self-concept to be forged and shaped by somebody else's valuation of them. So here's how you counter that. I'm going to share this story with you. Again, this is with Lou Holtz. He came from a lower income family, lower, I don't know if I want to say lower class, middle class, somewhere in between there. But all to say, maybe blue collar would be the better term. And neither of his parents had a college education. Mrs. Holtz made the determination, now Lou's going to college. And she went off and started getting part-time jobs to create the funds to send Lou to college because she saw potential in her son. Well, here's what went down. So, Lou is at the grocery store during the summer break after maybe his first year in college. And in the other aisle across from here, there were two of Lou's mother's friends having a conversation. And what was the conversation about? It was about Lou Holtz and about his mom. And what is Mrs. Holtz thinking of? Going off and working so hard and getting a job to save up money to send Lou to college. Why, Lou will never amount to anything. And they went back and forth clucking like two little hens and making that valuation of Lou that, what a waste. Mrs. Holtz shouldn't be spending her time getting jobs to get him through college. Oh, that's silly. And Lou heard that, and that created that fire in the belly. The fire in the belly what did you just say about me? And what did you just say about my mama? Well, I'm just going to prove you wrong. And a lot of times that's what we need, is when someone says that, rather than our pattern to go, I guess they're right, and we shirk back into nothingness, and we go, really? Okay, so this is a cognition thing right here that I'm talking about. You've got to catch yourself in your thinking processes. You've got to have a heightened sense, your cognition, your executive brain, that can go pause, hit the pause button right here. And you step outside yourself and you're observing your pattern. You normally shirk back and you melt in your little timid nothingness. Instead, it should be like, no, you're actually wrong. And you don't have to say this to them. I mean, I got teased quite a bit as a kid. That did something to me when I was young. It helped create a fire in the belly. That, really? I mean, it hurt. I won't kid you on that. It hurt deeply. But it also strengthened me at a different level, that you will never take me down. Never. And I'll prove to you, someday, not that I'm thinking about those people anymore, but it served a good purpose for me. So rather than allowing myself to be beat down, it was like, okay, that's what you think of me, but I think differently. And it put me into action mode. So watch your patterns and behaviors. That's going to be a common theme here. But a leadership quality number 3 here is allowing yourself to be tested, to find out what you're really made of. And I got to tell you, when you do that, you feel kind of good. And that's a good thing to have. Your emotions are what create your drive and ambition. And when you get that feeling of chutzpah, it's like, dang, man, it's like adrenaline. You maybe call it being a junkie. That felt really good. I'm going to do it again. I do that as collectively with my 80-20 team. I'm the driver of it, but it's like, hey team, gather around. Here's what we're going to be doing. Here's what's shaking down. And I got to have all the guts and chutzpah to get them to rally behind me. So this is why it always begins with you. All right, here's what I need you to do. I want you to share with me your thoughts after watching this. Perhaps share with me a time where you did allow yourself to be put to the test and what happened as a result. But more importantly, we're forward thinking here. Entrepreneurs, we're visionaries, we're thinking out. Tell me something that you right now are willing to allow yourself to be put to the test and go, oh yeah, I've got the goods. All right, so thanks for watching. I look forward to speaking with you with leadership quality number 4. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.